have held him down and shaved him bald. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Cobra Kai. We're now into episode 4 of season 3, which is called The Right Path. So in the last episode, we ended with Daniel, who has traveled all the way to Toyona's headquarters. I love the play on the name. To basically, it looks like, plead his case around being one of their dealerships of choice. And we just know that Daniel kind of has to get a lot of things back in alignment when it comes to his dealership. As discussed very heavily in last season, he kind of let things go out of balance between the dojo and the karate stuff and Johnny and his actual job. And so now he's trying to just do a little bit of the cleanup and the repair of the situation since the fight at the school. And then we've got Johnny, who has, again, unfortunately made a choice to support Miguel rather than his own son, which of course has just driven a wedge, or I should say it's widened the wedge between him and Robbie. And of course there is beef going on again between the two schools of kids, because the kids of Miyagi-Do tried to do something nice for Miguel to raise money to help him with his surgery. However, Cobra Kai, aka Hawk, and his miserable self saw what was going on and continued their bullying ways and not only steal this money, but then go ahead and gang up on one of the smallest members of Miyagi-Do. While we see like one thing is starting to potentially go into a better direction where Daniel's concerned, we're seeing that things are kind of going back down the hill between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai. And this is just one. These are just a handful of the students. We haven't even seen the worst of Kreese's creations yet. So I'm ready to jump right back in. But before we do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that you like it here and you like what you see. If you do, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm, which means a lot to me. And if you really like it, maybe you'll think of hitting the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I do more reactions to this show. And if you've been here before, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back. And if you have not hit that subscribe button yet, I'd really appreciate it if you think about doing it today. Join the family. We're on a march to 10K, and I would love it if you're there with me. All right, that out of the way, guys. Let's get into episode 4 right about now.
Our new incentive program, the Russo Autos partnership with Toyona.
Ooh, who's the hot guy at the end of the table?
This is very impressive.
Thank you. How are you? Hi, I'm single.
The wheels are already in motion. Thank you for coming over this way.
No, thank you. We're not done yet. I'm just kidding. He's so fine. I'd be like, okay, whatever you say. All right, bye. Can I have your number? Can we talk later?
What the hell am I gonna do?
Meditate. Attract the answer to you. Look at Ralph. That's with his real daughter, too.
You can always visit someone. They speak to us, even when they are gone.
So y'all have ghosts, is what you're saying. I've seen that movie, The Ring. Y'all crazy.
Spend your 4 seasons in Okinawa.
I want to go to Okinawa. As soon as this bloody panini business is a little less insane, I'm going. It's happening.
I want you to kick this tree off the top. Red, you start.
I need to limber up. I'm gonna pull a groin. Didn't say how to get it off.
But he cheated. No, he didn't.
Have you not
Unlike
learned yet
you,
from
he
this
did
man
it-
he doesn't care about cheap shots?
I know it'll make you feel better, though. A big piece of chocolate cake. How's that sound, huh?
Sure.
Be right back.
Sugar does help, temporarily.
Just tell Robbie I'll make things right.
Yeah, sure you will. Even I don't believe you.
I can take you in there if you like. I'm sure he'd love to see you.
Now he needs to be with his family.
So now? Do you realize how pointless it was for him to miss time with his son and break a promise to his son to not even just go and see Miguel? Like, you might as well go all in with the Miguel situation. This is why Johnny, oh my God, you're so frustrating, sir, but still so sexy.
God, this looks like the town that time forgot.
Part 2. Oh, we remember her. Look at that grin. I liked her and Daniel. I was really sad they didn't end up together. The way his face just falls.
Hey, Robbie.
No, there's no hay for you.
Is that a black guy? Are you fighting in there after everything that's happened?
You're seriously gonna lecture me about something?
Wow, Johnny.
That you're in my corner? But you got my back. Because let's be honest, that means jack shit.
Well, you better not be eating my soup, Goldilocks. I call dibs on them beans.
I'm not leaving until
He's like, do I need to know about that? He's like, how did I come from this DNA? I don't know, Robbie. I don't know.
I'm ready to go back to a world where we don't have to talk to each other on a regular basis.
You don't have to talk to me at all.
My
Bye.
popularity is on the rise.
Go ahead and fail your science project.
Go ahead. Press the hadrosaur egg.
Admit it, you're impressed. Science is cool.
I mean, everything's to scale. And at 8,250 individual pieces.
The way he's minding his business. He's nerding out in his own place alone. And look, you just can't live.
Did she enter your personal bubble without your verbal consent?
Yeah, she definitely triggered me in my safe space.
What are you talking? Consider this a warning, Ms. LaRusso. And get these Legos off the ground. Someone could get hurt.
This is why these people who claim to be helping never actually help. The way I would have held him down and shaved him bald.
So Mr. Sato turned to a whole new economy. Retail.
Sato!
Weren't they upset about what happened to their home?
No. It brought them jobs.
Right.
Modern homes. It saved the village.
You weren't here, Daniel. You don't get to judge the situation. It kind of shows, though, right? Like the mentality of like, oh no, this should have stayed the same for my personal history, right? But it's like, Daniel, it's been almost 40 years. Things change all around the world. And if the village was not bringing in any income, of course they're going to want to adapt. It's her! Just like the first time, you're always just drawn to her. You should have married her. I mean, Mrs. LaRusso's cool and all, but you should have married her. This was literally the most healthy relationship he had in the entire series. Oh, not the fateful kiss in front of that beautiful story. And the tea ceremony. Daniel's still in love. Look at him. She's gonna recognize you because you look exactly the same. Exactly.
You're right, you don't. But you're my kid and I'm your dad. So let me give you a hand.
Okay. That's not a switch you get to turn on and off, Johnny.
I wanted to be there.
But
something happened at the hospital.
Get it.
Robbie, come on.
No, it's fine. I shouldn't be surprised that you chose Miguel over me again.
You did.
Well, I'm sure Miguel appreciates that.
Hey, I'm not the one who put him in the hospital. Robbie,
actually, screw you, John. Don't do it, Sam. Don't engage. I know it's hard, but don't engage.
Let's game of soccer without a little physical contact.
It's contact soccer now. You know, balls to the head, balls to the balls. Oops. Oh, sorry. Did my cleat go right in your tit?
Got a good thing going with the hottest girl in school.
And you ruined it.
By becoming a loser.
I'm sorry. I love it. I'm sorry. But the mental, this is so much better than the physical.
Everyone to the principal's office now.
Why? We were just playing soccer. God. Since when was just frolicking on a field illegal?
Until Yukie got sick. And this was always my home.
I was sorry to hear she passed.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi should have got married.
Come on. I'm supposed to believe that a guy never got a ring on that finger.
Many tried.
Yeah, it's her decision.
None of them fought to the death for me.
It's a hard act to follow.
Let's hope that's not true, though, because that's kind of sad.
I am the same age now that Mr. Miyagi was when he met me. He had it all figured out.
No, he didn't.
You know, I wish he could be here to help guide me.
I think I can make that happen.
She's like, I didn't tell you. I actually hold seances. I'm a medium now. It's another side gig. Me, devil, like this. I can't believe people actually eat the peanuts at a bar. I saw a news report once on a blue light, like of what actually resides on those peanuts. Trust me, you would not put your hand in those bowls after.
You're over your little temper tantrum and we can talk like adults.
How about I break this bottle over your head?
You got 3 minutes.
I can't believe you're still talking to this man.
You were the best, Johnny. And you can teach that to these kids.
The ego.
You've done
Nothing
it
but
before.
ego here. There's nothing real. There's nothing deep. There's nothing tangible. It's just all ego. The mean mugging contest.
This is bullshit! Ms. LaRusso, that is not how we express ourselves here.
I can express myself any way I want. It's expressing myself.
I don't know her that well.
Oh, you little punk. Miyagi-Do does not stick together. But again, this is because Sam is going against her teachings. She should not have done what she did on the soccer field. It feels good in the moment, but in the end, you see how the cycle continues. And honestly, when you're dealing with someone like Cobra Kai, they're just going to keep going lower. How low can you go? You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it.
Miyagi-san wrote Auntie Yukie so many years, so many letters.
Knew Miyagi was a player. Straight pimp.
One good thing came out of our time apart. I got to fall in love with you. Twice in one lifetime.
Miyagi better stop. He was a poet too. Cutting through the hearts.
This was written a week Mr. Miyagi died.
Would you like me to read it?
Please.
Well, time to cry.
I'm very proud of the man he has become, even though he still has a hard head.
That's true. Hard-headed and a quick temper. If y'all don't stop with these fake tears.
Samantha makes me feel like I'm her Tanme.
Tame.
Grandfather. Do you like that, Yukie? I heard that in a car commercial.
They did a really good job of capturing the kind of humor that Pat Morita would use as Mr. Miyagi.
Thank you.
See? I don't care what anyone says. He should have married Euchre. He should have married her. That's what you call the nurse for.
Go get it.
I can't walk.
And I'm always gonna be right here next to you.
Glad you're near
Because I'll
one
always be-
person in your life. Admittedly, Miguel does need this, though, because sadly, as much as his mom loves him, moms do tend to coddle their children, especially their sons, and she probably would be more about letting him sit in his self-wallowing more so than pushing him. You kind of need dad's energy for that kind of thing. But, you know, he hasn't moved at all.
Your girl left you, your dad hates you.
Wow.
You got nobody.
Damn.
And now you got nothing.
Well, that pretty much sums up all 3 seasons. Who else? Because this man has a knack for finding people when they are at their absolute lowest. It's his superpower.
Put good out in the world,
Yes.
and good will come back to you.
Amen. Golden rule, karma, whatever you want to call it. Oh. Married.
Daniel-san.
You know, I would have still wanted this to happen, but you know, you're married now. Hey! Ooh! Okay, I have a crush on him too. I don't know why I always like the bad guys in these movies. I like Sean Kanan too. Joker.
My honor again. And I kill you.
Yes! Chosen sexy ass. Pants all up at his neck. I love him so much. I don't know what's wrong. I'm sorry, guys. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a really bad habit of rooting for the bad guy. I don't know why, but villains always just seem to intrigue me. And all the villains in Cobra Kai, or I mean in the Karate Kid series, every one of them was actually very attractive and sexy AF when they were fighting. It's a fact. I don't know. It just worked out that way. I love Daniel, of course, but, you know, a tiny part of me was rooting a little bit for the bad guy. Oh, there was episode 4, which was The Right Path. And I really loved how this one kind of did yet another throwback to Mr. Miyagi and kind of remembering him. Daniel being in Okinawa and seeing how things have changed since he was there 30 years prior. And as I said in the episode, kind of interesting how we don't really think about how things change and kind of evolve when we haven't been a part of it for so long. Like Daniel was so upset, like why would the villagers give up their town and their quaint way of life for, for commerce and trade? And like the lady's like, we were dying out here. Like, it's not that we didn't want the life we had, but it was no longer relevant. We had to move forward with the times. So, but yeah, just kind of one of those moments where Daniel had a wake up call, like, sir, it's been 30 years. People had to move on, things change. But him, of course, getting back with one of his first loves and, that beautiful influence that she was in the second film. I loved in the second film that she was like this calming, kind of just sweet energy that Daniel really needed because, of course, Chosen was really giving him a hard time and the whole situation with Sato Mr. Miyagi was stressing Daniel out. And she was just like this chill, beautiful, kind person that kind of just pulled Daniel away from all of that drama. So it was good to see her again, that's for sure. And, I just love all the messages once again. We had a great message, which she said at the end there about karma or the golden rule. Put out good, it'll come back to you. And that's basically all Daniel can do at this point. He can't control everything, but as long as he's doing his best to be a good person, it will return to him in spades. And that's about all you can do, right? That's one of the reasons why you be good is because it will bring you back good things, even if it isn't necessarily on the time frame that you're looking for. And also the letter reading scene with her reading Mr. Miyagi's last letter to Yukie. I got really emotional in the first one too, because it was just so beautifully written. And like I said, I think they did a great job of encompassing the type of humor that Pat Morita would bring to that character back in the day, but also the wisdom and the kindness that was Mr. Miyagi. And, how Daniel would have felt genuinely hearing that like voice of his father, now that he's been gone for so long, kind of that pat in the back, letting him know that he was proud of him. Because I feel like Mr. Miyagi probably said it, but he was also one of those men that probably didn't tell Daniel all the time, how proud he was of him or that he thought he was doing a good job, but like to point out how hard-headed that he would be. But it's just a beautiful scene, and I think both the actors did a great job of bringing out how emotional that moment would be, remembering Mr. Miyagi, but also Yukie, people that meant so much to them in their lives. And just a beautiful homage, as usual, to Pat Morita. But of course, as we see back at the school, things are not quite being as zen and peaceful. The kids are still going at it. Sam kind of going out of character, going against what she's learned in Miyagi-Do, looking for a little revenge against Cobra Kai, which is understandable because Hawk is instigating like a mofo. But as we saw, it did backfire, right? Karma, energy, right? She was putting out a lot of that antagonistic energy back, like she was returning it. And of course, it brought more poor results in her direction. So as hard as it is, she's got to just let that go. And I know it's not easy. Obviously, if it came down to physical, altercations, that's when you you not strike back, but that's where you defend yourself. But you shouldn't be seeking out that energy. That's what she was doing. And of course, you seek out violence, violence will find you. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we saw Johnny trying to pick up the pieces with Robbie, but it's just too late. And honestly, I was with Robbie. It was really a lame excuse. There was no real, I feel like even though Johnny had the apology in his mouth, the energy was not there. It's very much like, yeah, I know I screwed up, but I had this other thing, this other kid that was more important at the time, because that's really what it came down to. He chose Miguel over his son, and that's really the truth, and he should admit that, but he doesn't want to think that, right? In his mind, he's like, I'm being the good Samaritan to this one kid. Why can't my kid, who I completely abandoned and disappointed repeatedly, not understand that? Right? So it's just really frustrating because Johnny is Robbie in so many ways, but he can't see that he's doing to Robbie what his stepfather inadvertently did as far as not being there for him. And we don't know about Johnny's real father. We heard him mentioned in the last episode, but you know what I'm saying? It's sad to see this pattern repeat itself, but nothing's going to change with Johnny where Robbie's concerned until he actually humbles himself truly and just gets with the program and actually puts the effort in and stands by Robbie no matter what. And then of course we saw that poor Robbie at his lowest right now, feels like everyone's lost to him, abandoned him, turned their back on him. Mind you, he's just mad at Mr. LaRusso because we all know that Daniel's been trying to get through to him. But of course Kreese comes in because now that he realizes that Johnny is not coming back, he's going to go for the next best thing because Kreese really does want Johnny back. It pisses him off to no and that he can't control Johnny anymore. And so, of course, he's going for his son, who's at a very vulnerable point. And like I said, that is literally his superpower, finding vulnerable, broken kids and twisting that pain and anger and confusion that they feel into hate and pain and bullying. So we already know where that road will lead, unfortunately, but Johnny is part of the reason that the opening was created for Kreese to get in here like this. So another great episode as usual. Loved watching it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.